Hi, I'm Jessica, founder of Sudo. We're a company focused on Shopify website development. So, welcome to the first episode of our Shopify Review Series. Basically, what we're doing is that we have reached out to brand owners asking if it's okay to review their website, which is based on Shopify, of course. The only caveat is that we would be posting this review in our social media. So, without further ado, today we're going to review the company Baby About. So let me just share my screen so that we can all see. All right. So keep in mind that this is also my first impression, which means that I will be going through it as a consumer, someone who is looking to buy their products like a potential customer. And at the same time, also with my expertise in Shopify, I will be reviewing the UI UX experience of this website. All right, so first impression is that, of course, I know exactly what they're selling. The only thing I might have a little bit of a pickiness is that the slider is quite fast. So I would either slow down the slider or, so I'm just going to write it here as well, slow down the slider or use a different animation. So instead of it being a one swoop that is quite fast and it's destructive, I would probably opt for something a bit more gentle. All right, so very clearly, I can see that they have a really good menu, which I really like. I feel that the menu that they have is very comprehensive. They've got their catalog, their travel systems, bundles, contact us, about us, order tracking, which is something that we don't really see often on the main menu. And of course, support, which includes FAQs, shipping, and contact us, which is great. All right, so some very minor issues with the UI UX in terms of the banner. For example, as you can see here, right, the contrast is not there. So one thing I'll do is probably check the contrast of the wordings against the images. Popular products, very nicely done. They've got the standardization with the product images, which is, for example, white background for all images. So just keep it professional. Okay, just very minor issues with the products. For example, this one does not have that same white background we want. At the moment, it also feels like it's starting to get a little bit, I don't want to say the word messy, but I can tell now that we could maybe do a bit of like checking with the titles, keep the titles pretty much um either standardized or that the product titles can be a little bit more nicer. Okay. All right. So the issue isn't really major, and I honestly would not spend a lot of time to change things if I'm like tight on time. But basically, we want to avoid looking like our products come from all over the places. So for example, these images could probably be a bit more improved such that it looks more like cohesive, such that I am the, like you can tell that I'm the company that made all these products, even though I did not. So basically, we don't want to have a scatter feel when it comes to the whole like product identity and in terms of like having our products out there. For example, maybe to illustrate better on what I mean is that you can see here with the unisex hooded long winter jacket, and then I have all these other outfits, but you can sort of tell that they are not really taken in the same studio, for example. And if we if as predicted, I think that we would have we would have product images that don't look convincing to me as a consumer. So when I'm shopping for like let's say I'm shopping for baby clothing, I would prefer if I could have maybe some models in my images, maybe some babies actually wearing it. I'd also like to see like product quality, which means that I need maybe zoom in terms of the material. If you could even have like showing what it's actually made of, that would be great. At the same time, I would feel that I would need some at this point, I think we all would appreciate videos when it comes to more sensitive items, which are like baby clothes, which actually keeps our baby from getting a cold. So these are just some things that if let's say you're the brand owner and you would like to commit and invest into making your products better and increase your conversion rates, I would really dedicate that sort of time and investment towards creating better product images. Or even let's say if you already are able to get your images from somewhere, let's say a supplier, feel free to request for even better images. Or if your customers have bought them, if you could get a review from them, that would be great as well. All right, so since we're in the product page already, just like to quickly go through if there's any way we can improve it. I think the first thing is that this variance section I see, it looks very all over the place. As you can tell, it's not aligned. I think it's probably because that's just the setting that you currently have. It does not look tidy. That's my main issue. And then if possible, I would honestly move this clear pay interest-free payment down to around here. And then sort of just like make the whole like icons and sections and payments more cohesive. For example, why are these icons so much more bigger than your buy with shop pay or even your add to cart? Like it should be usually small and like directly below the shop pay. And then of course, I wouldn't say the main concern is if they could pay 7.5 pounds interest free. They would most likely like to read a little bit more about the item first and see if it's even worth buying. Also at the same time, I believe if the clear pay only applies to people living in UK, because I see that it's in pounds, maybe just if you can, maybe just display it to UK users, because otherwise it doesn't really apply to people who are buying from the rest of the world. Okay, and then as you can tell here, there's some minor issues with the mouse, with the zoom in function. Yeah. Yeah. So that's just back-end code that can be fixed. I think the copywriting at the same time, similar to what I've mentioned, can be improved if you could add pictures showing more in terms of the material, the quality, that would be great. Okay, so good that you have customer reviews as well, recommended products. I honestly think the very strong point here is the menu that you have, but most of the time as business owners, because we're so focused on adding new products, keeping our customers happy, operations wise as well, we kind of forget that we also have to improve our current products. I'm going to take a look at one more product page. So looking at travel systems, which I believe is the main revenue driver here because items are priced quite high. If items are priced high, quality has to justify, copywriting has to justify. So if you feel like you've got a great item over here, but the issue is that people are not buying, maybe they just really need to be convinced even more to spend more than $1,000 to purchase this baby pot bundle. Yeah, so you can see here that we have some images going on. This is great as well. Yeah, so this is much better in terms of the product page. We, however, still need to, I believe, convince our customers even more. So let's say if you're happy to invest in, let's say, a UGC creator to maybe just run through whatever you have in the mega bundle, Or if you yourself can film a video showing what's included, that would be great. Even better if it's being used. And of course, you have to show why is it better than competition. All right, so I forgot to write all this down. I'm going to do it right now. So the third thing is product pages. Optimize the first section. And then also optimize your copywriting. Okay, so I hope this is clear enough. Okay. Yes. And lastly, possible to add videos or better images of products being used. Okay, so I think with that, I'm just going to sort of like end the UI UX. There's like UI UX review. There's plenty to work on. If you're the brand owner, feel free to let me know if you have any questions as well. I'm going to do something next, which is to show you what I feel is like a nice website that is quite similar to what your brand is doing. So the one I choose for today for us is Crate and Barrel's Kits, which they also call themselves Crate and Kits. So yes, first of all, you can tell that, really nice video, really capture my attentions right away. You can tell that everything is sort of like brand owned. I wouldn't say brand made because we don't know, of course. But yes, you can see that they did invest. And honestly, you don't need thousands of dollars to do like a nice photo shoot. It could just be few hundred bucks. And if you're serious about your business, that is usually what I would recommend, to really invest in creating that brand identity, creating that professional look. Okay, so I'm going to go straight onto one of their product pages. I think we touch on like a pushchair set. So let me see if they have something similar. Baby grips. Here, baby strollers. Okay, so baby strollers should be quite similar, yes. Okay, just very quickly, you can tell that the product images are pretty standardized. So this is ideally what you like to achieve as a brand. And then at the product page itself, the amount of images is just very high. So as a consumer, I feel like I would be quite convinced just off by looking without even going in person to purchase, because of the fact that they gave me such details and key features. I kind of know, like, if let's say I'm looking for something like this, I kind of would put this in a list of my considerations, right? Shipping is free right away. I know that, okay, I'm only going to pay 550. And yeah, they've got their reviews as well, which is great. And honestly, yes, I would say that if you're looking for a more professional looking website, you can sort of study competitions such as this, Crate and Kits, which is a subsidy of, or let's say a part of Crate and Barrel, a very popular furniture brand. I would probably just use this one example. Usually I would provide one more, but I feel that this is a very good example to study from already. Yeah, so I I would say this is about it for this Shopify review. Let me know if you're the brand owner, if you're happy with this review or not, if you like us to support your website, or if you're just a YouTube viewer that sort of stumbled. Thank you so much for watching. And with that, I would end this video. Thank you.